Chapter 16, The Rescue Party. If this was a Hollywood picture, the rescuers would show up at dawn with the sun, the audience would clap, and that would be the end. When I walk out of the shack in the morning, the only thing that's shown up is muddy-looking clouds that hang low in the sky. It's drizzling, and we're all scratching at our mosquito bites. My face feels hot and tight. I wonder what Shirley Temple would do in this situation. Probably sing a song about how fun it is to be stuck on an island. Say, you got any of that diaper rash formula on you? I ask Ira. Why didn't I think of that in the first place? He says, and digs in his pocket. He takes some and then tosses the bag to me. I smear the powder on the bites and on my sunburned face, too. It helps a little. My stomach rumbles. I'm hungry. What if we don't find anything to eat? Kermit asks. Then we'll starve to death, Porkchop snaps. The two boys return to the shack sometime during the night. They're both acting like cranky babies now. Even pudding is easier to take than these two. We spread out, foraging. When we meet back up, we toss what we found into a pile. 2 empty cans, a rotting coconut, and a crab that's been dead a while, judging from the smell. Can't even make a cut-up out of this, Ira says in disgust. Maybe we could build a raft? Porkchop suggests. With what? Beans asks. Wood from the shack, Porkchop says. Then we won't have anywhere to sleep, Kermit protests. Who cares about sleeping? Let's just try and get out of here. We wouldn't even be here in the first place if you weren't such a dummy, Beans says under his breath. I got more sense in my bungy than you've got in your whole body, Porkchop shouts back. Sense? Even Buddy knows how to set a hook, Bean says. I'll show you a hook, Porkchop growls, and clocks Bean on the side of the head with the huge roundhouse swing. I practically see stars myself as Beans goes down. But he doesn't stay down long. He comes up roaring and rushes Porkchop, landing on top of him as Porkchop's head barely misses a rock. Come on, fellas, Ira says. Knock it off. The boys roll back and forth on the ground, kicking and grunting and throwing wild punches at each other. What is it with boys and fighting? I'm amazed any of them get to be grown-ups the way they're always going at it. I turn to Ira. If they kill each other, I get their share of the treasure. Porkchop has Beans half pinned against the ground, with one arm wrapped around Beans' neck. Beans' face is turning bright red when Kermit dives into the mess. Get off my brother, he shouts and leaps on Porkchop. And then the three of them are rolling around. Of course, Ira has to get in on the action too, although I'm not sure whose side he's on. I just sit there and watch them. Finally, I can't take it anymore. Hey, look, I call out. A boat. The boys stop fighting instantly. Where? Porkchop asks. It looks like someone got in a good punch to his right eye. Where? It was there just a minute ago, I say. Beans wipes a trickle of blood from his nose and gives me a dark look. There's no boat. You lied to make us stop fighting. You got me, I say, looking skyward. I don't know what I was thinking. Porkchop and Beans aren't speaking to each other. They sit on opposite sides of the shore, brooding. They're acting like sweethearts who just had a falling out. They should just kiss and make up already. I look at Kermit. They ever scrapped this bad before? He shakes his head. They've been best pals since they were in diapers. It rains on and off as we watch for passing ships. The waves are kicking up, foam frothing. Ira, Kermit, and I take turns playing checkers using gold coins and shells. I'm starving, Kermit says. I know how he feels. I've never been this hungry before. Now I know why people go crazy, because all I can think about is food. I picture the fancy ladies' lunches Mama would make. Cheese souffle, potato salad, buttered nut bread, and her famous caramel custard. When we get back, the first thing I'm going to eat is ice cream, Kermit says. What flavor? I ask. He doesn't hesitate. Sugar apple. Me too, I say, and I can practically taste it. You think anyone's looking for us? Probably the whole town by now, Ira says. Kermit frowns. I'm not sure I want to be found. Ma's gonna tan our bungies good. We're not going to be able to sit for a week. Hey, Ira, anyone ever tell you that you look like Little Orphan Annie? I ask him. I got eyes in my head. She's just got circles, he says, looking past me at the horizon. You see a boat? Those low clouds and the sea foam. What about them? Any comp kid knows what those mean. Haven't you figured out I'm not from around here? A storm, Ira says. A big one. The sky grows dark and the wind picks up. The rain begins to fall harder, so we take shelter in the shack. Well, those of us who have sense, anyway. Porkchop and Beans won't come into the shack because they don't want to be near each other. Raindrops pelt the flimsy shack like spitballs. The storm is scarier than anything I've ever been in before. I keep waiting for the shack to just blow away, and us with it. I guess Nana Philly wasn't as dumb as everyone thought, keeping those shutters up in case of a storm, Kermit says. She's got more sense than Porkchop and Beans, I say. They're just stubborn, Ira says. They're just dumb, I say. I can't stop thinking about Ira's brother, Eggy. Dumb kids get hurt. And these are two of the dumbest boys I've ever met in my entire life. I don't want to spend all this pirate gold buying a headstone, I say. I'm not going out there, Kermit says. I got a weak heart. I'll go, Ira offers. Before Ira can even stand up, the door slams open and Beans is standing there, sopping wet. Beans, Kermit says. Beans doesn't say anything. He just pulls the door shut behind him and sits down on the ground. Water sprays through cracks in the walls and drips in from gaps in the roof. Nearby, a tree snaps. Your hand sure is going to be sore, I tell Beans. From what? From writing, my best friend died in a storm because I was so stubborn 200 times. Shut up, Beans growls. Porkchop's still out in that, I say. Serves him right, Beans says. He could be dying. He ain't. How do you know? Beans sighs loudly. Because I passed him on the way in. He's standing right outside the shack. I open the door and look out into the darkness. Sure enough, Porkchop is huddled next to the shack. You coming in or what? I ask. He pushes past me into the shack without a word. Inside, Porkchop and Beans sit as far away from each other as they can. But this doesn't last very long, because a big wave rushes in and we're forced to stand up and scoot back until we're pressed tight against the wobbly wall. I guess it's a good thing I'm not wearing shoes, because they'd be soaking wet. You think the water's going to come up any further? Ira asks, his voice shaking. I feel something long and slimy slide over my ankle and go still. I look down to see what seems like a worm disappearing into the shadows. Only I know it isn't a worm, because worms don't have whiskers or little feet. There's a rat in here, I hiss. Rat? Kermit bleats. Rat? It's looking to stay high and dry, pal, Beans says. They're gonna eat us alive, Kermit whimpers, and then he shrieks, One just ran over my foot. There's a horrible cracking sound as a piece of the roof is torn away. We're all gonna die, Porkchop says in a dull voice. Aw, come on, pal, Beans says awkwardly, but Porkchop's too far gone. We are, and it's all my fault because I didn't throw in the hook. And then he starts to cry softly. Porkchop's tears break the boys faster than any fistfight. They all start bawling. Something washes over me, and this time it's not water. It's fear. What good is all this gold if we're dead? What if I never see Mama again? She doesn't even know I'm stranded on a key with a bunch of dumb boys. I would give $1,000,000 just to see her blue eyes and hear her voice one last time, to hug her tight and tell her how much I love her. The boys are crying, and I feel the fear rising in my throat like a dark tide. I try to push it down, but it bubbles up. It's swamping me, and I do the only thing I can think of. I start singing that stupid Shirley Temple song. Oh, the good ship Lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop where bonbons play on the sunny beach of Peppermint Bay. After a few moments, Beans' high, squeaky voice joins mine, and then Ira starts singing. Kermit too, and finally Pork Chop. We sing our hearts out. We're so good, we should be in pictures. We should get a screen test with Warner Brothers. I can see our names in lights already. The wind howls, but the diaper gang of Key West belts out a song as the angry storm washes everything away.